Greetings YouTube. In this video I will be unboxing and installing decoders in some Proto 2000 FA Alco FA2 locomotives. I have an ABBA set of these. Okay, we have your typical warranty, removal and installation. What happens if you're missing parts? Exploded diagram. Here's about lubrication and cleaning. And we will be definitely doing this. We got some parts. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is check if it has broken gears, which these very typically do, so I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think this is brand new. I think this has been used before. One of the couplers is installed, and there is some wear on the commutator there, if you can see. Yeah, it's definitely got some cracked gears. Okay. I don't know if you could tell that, but it was jumping. Okay, I assumed that. That means we gotta take it apart here. I'll show how to do that. To pop these covers off, we want to go... Whoa. And you can see how that gear is broken. I'm just going to go ahead and bet they all are. Yep, that one is too. This is frustrating. Yep. Okay, 4 out of 4 broken on this one. I'm going to go ahead and open up the rest of them and see what we're working with. I will be using these new gears from Athearn to fix the broken ones, and it's fairly straightforward. You just pull these apart. They come apart pretty easy since that's broken. Then it's a lot more difficult to put these back on. For that I recommend pliers. Okay, so now that the gears are in, let's move on with the decoder install. So I will be using a basic wired decoder here. There is actually a decoder, I'll put on the screen what it's called, that looks like this. This particular one, there's something wrong with it. It does not work. This is a drop-in replacement. You basically just remove this old board, unplug this, and plug this on here, and you're good to go. Yeah, if you want to use these, it makes it even easier. I don't have any more of these, but I do have the wired ones, so we're going to go with that. So the first thing we want to do is remove this old circuit board here. Okay, we also do not need this plug deal here, so I'm going to go ahead and actually, to keep this simple, I'm going to do these one at a time. and remove them. Run you past the directions here for the decoder in case you haven't seen these. And this is the wiring diagram here. So I'll go through this and show you which wires we'll be using. Black is important, that goes to one side of the rail. Red is important, that goes to the other side of the rail. Gray and orange both go to the motor, those are important. And then we only have one light, so we'll be using white and blue for that. And then over here, this has an extra auxiliary thing here. And I'm going to go ahead and use the black and red off of this, and I'm going to add a stay alive capacitor. I don't know that it will need it, probably not, but there's so much room in here, I don't see any reason not to use it. So here's what it looks like. Here's the decoder, and then this harness plugs in this side, and the smaller harness in that side. And these are keyed, you can't get it wrong. So I'm going to start by trimming out some of the wires here that I'm not going to use. We'll be using the green. Okay, so I have the red wire here, and this wire goes on up and connects to the chassis right there. And then there are two black wires that go to each truck, and they're going to the black wire here. The black wires are for the left rail, and the red wire is for the right. Okay, now I've got the orange wire and the gray wire. Those go to the motor. So the back set of red and black wires here go to a stay alive capacitor. I don't know that this is necessary, but I think there's room for it in here, so I'm going to go ahead and hook one up anyway. Now the blue and white wires go to the factory light bulb, which I won't be using this. If you want to use that, you're going to want to put a resistor in series with it. Maybe you're going to need probably a 1/2 watt, like 500, 600 ohm. You might want to figure that out. I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and use an LED instead. For an LED, I've got a 3mm warm white LED with a 3000 ohm resistor. And now I have the anode of the LED hooked up to the blue wire and the cathode hooked up to the white wire through the resistor. And then I'm going to put a piece of heat shrink over here to kind of like funnel where I want the light to go. Okay, so I'm testing things out on the programming track, and I was having a difficult time getting it to acknowledge from the decoder, and I've forgotten about something. When you have a stay alive capacitor on there, it can mess up the programmer's ability to read from the decoder. I'm not sure why, but I had to disconnect this, and now it seems to work, so I'll go ahead and get it programmed. All right, let's open up the B units. I think all the paperwork is exactly the same, so I'll just go ahead and put that back in the box. This is exactly the same except for no headlight and no people. And here's the B unit. Okay, so this is probably going to be controversial, but I am not going to put a decoder in this, in either of the B units. I am going to take the gears out and have these be unpowered. I'm doing that really for two reasons. One, I don't have enough decoders. And two, I don't need this extra power. 2 units will be plenty for pulling around, I don't know, 40, 50 car train. And I found that anything longer, any consist long enough to need more than 2 powered units on my layout you can't have all the powered units at the head end. They have to be distributed out in the middle and at the end. So yeah, there's no reason to have more. And I typically only run 40, 50 car trains anyway. That's actually a long train. Most of my trains are even shorter than that. So I do not need the powered B units. So electrically, all we have to do is just unplug this. And then I am going to take apart the trucks and take out the gears. So we will show you how to do that. Let's start by, and then I'm going to snap this off right here. And I'm just going to go ahead and take the worm gear out, this entire assembly here. And then yeah, okay, so this is still going to be a problem because this has broken gears. It's still binding, so I'm going to have to take this all apart too. Okay, so I'm going to take this clip here off the top. And then this off here. And then this whole thing is going to come apart. I guess you take these out first. And then these gears, I'm going to just save these, because I may change my mind someday. Yeah, and these. Okay, so even though there isn't going to be any anything turning this, the fact that, see how these don't stay, these aren't going to stay engaged just because they're so loose. So I'm still going to have to replace these anyway. So I will get on doing that. Here I have removed all the spur gears and the worm gears. The spur gears probably could have stayed in there. It's no big deal, but it rolls fine. I'm also going to go ahead and leave out the weight. So, and now to attach the shells. They just slide on. And they will seem like they tip a little back and forth like that. That's just the way it is. And then there are 4 screw holes. Here, 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 and here. And these are the screws you use. They come in the little bag of extra parts. All right, here they come. I did run them in for about half an hour in both directions, and they've quieted down a little bit, but they're still a little squeaky, so they might need future work on that. Okay, let's go get some cars. Okay, this is roughly 40 cars. I didn't count exactly, that's just an estimate. But they're having absolutely no problem pulling that much.